I'll do it. Hi guys, welcome back. This is Disha Shah and I create videos. I create videos on how to make, save and invest money. Today's video.
Almost right. I say hello, welcome back.
Oh
This
yeah,
is
hello.
Disha Shah.
No, I knew it.
It's not something I consciously did though. Only after a few videos I realized that
You've been
I was saying that
every video.
I was doing the same thing. Then it kind of was easier to start with it. So there's no story behind it. Okay, but today's video is special because I have my best friend here. You would have seen her in my other fun videos and vlogs, which if you're interested, I will leave the link in the floating eye and in the description box. But today she's here for a money conversation. So for context, we had a sleepover last night, and usually when we catch up after a couple of weeks, I usually check in on her finances. I do that with most of my friends in case I see them going on too many trips, spending too much. I get a bit worried if they're saving enough for future stuff. So I kind of check in and be like, so what are you doing? How much are you investing? Have you tried out something else? And stuff. If I've learned about a new asset class or I'm trying something out myself, I try to tell them about it and see if they are interested, and if they are, then I help them get started. So it kind of made sense yesterday when she was asking me questions, because I realized that she has very similar questions to most DMs I get or comments on my YouTube video or when I meet people. So I thought it'd be fun to film like an informal conversation video where she kind of just asked me the questions that she normally would over a sleepover, but we're just gonna film it. So before we jump into the question, it might be useful to see where her questions are coming from, like what she's doing in life and what she's up to, in case any of you relate to those steps in life or are in the same phase as her. So tell us, what do you do? How's it been?
So very briefly, for the past 2 years I've been working. So I'm making money and I'm in the exploration phase of what to do with money, how to deal with money, how much to spend, how much to save, how much to invest. I started investing almost a year back.
Yeah.
I have crypto, I have invested in mutual funds and stocks, so I have like some knowledge about this, but not entirely.
Okay, so what's your first question?
Okay, so the first question has a lot to do with the term YOLO itself. A random example: if I have $1,000 today, and I've decided in the morning that I'm going to save that $1,000 because there's nothing that I've planned for today, and I can just like put it and save it. But say if I get a call from you or like someone saying that let's go on a long drive, go to the beach and then go have dinner somewhere, I would definitely choose that, because like I would choose fun over this. It's not a do or die situation for me. Like if I spend those $1,000, it's not like I won't be able to survive tomorrow. So the weightage on the fun side is more a lot of times. I think about that a lot. So what do you suggest, Disha Shah?
So this is actually quite a common DM where sometimes I get like scenarios that people present me with where they're like, I want to buy this, but it means that I will either be dipping into my savings or not saving or investing this month. Should I do it? The first thing to understand obviously is that it's a very relative question and really depends from person to person. But having gone through similar situations is that one, you don't have to always prioritize saving and investing, and it is okay to prioritize things like this that also give you instant gratification and joy, which is why a small activity that helps me kind of make those decisions of whether spending it is worth it or saving it is worth it in that instant is to kind of have a few money goals in place. I know that I want to take a trip to Spain with my brother and sisters and her in the month of May. And for that, let's say I have to save up 10,000 every month. Now, if I'm in this month and I've saved up 9,000 and that 1,000 is supposed to go to this trip, and I get a call from you for my long drive, then I know that the weightage of my Spain trip is much higher than going on this one long drive trip, right? And so then I would suggest that, I'm actually trying to save up. Let's do this next month and let's just stay at home, right? So it helps to have some money goals in place. It doesn't have to be super long. It can be like a 3-month goal or 5-month goal or something you're saving up towards, because that helps you kind of have more purpose in why you're saving, and doesn't let every like opportunity kind of take over your future goals.
Because there's something tangible waiting for me at the end of this, like how fun is waiting for me at the end.
Correct.
So I understood your point about having money goals and how that helps, because I've experimented with that in the past, and it does help. Having something tangible at the end of your saving has always helped me. Places where it negatively affects me, for example, again, December was a very expensive month for me. I went on a few trips, and
A lot of trips.
yeah, so it was a pretty expensive month for me. So I decided that January is going to be staying in, not spending money. Yeah, so I've been telling myself that I have zero money in my bank account. I've convinced myself, and now I believe that I have zero money in my bank account, and that's helped me not spend. Also, it's negatively affecting me in a way, because when I think about my past month, it feels like I had no money, and it doesn't give me the feeling of abundance which I would like to have, because I actually do have that money. I don't know if this is a problem that I will deal with, or if it's just like a constant dilemma that I'll have to like live with.
So this is a very good question that I actually don't think a lot of people know how to articulate. And I myself came to the realization that I did this to myself for years and years in my childhood. And I do think it's something that a lot of Indian parents pass it down to their kids, especially like people from middle class backgrounds, in order to ensure the value of money, right? They kind of keep making you count, kind of keep telling you that we have little, so you kind of make the most out of it. And you kind of really start believing it. And so when I was young and I would get pocket money, I was an aggressive saver back then. So let's say that my pocket money was 3,000, I would literally go the whole month spending 500. Like I would eat dinner at home and go for dinners. If I went out partying, then I would either wear a borrowed dress or my old dresses, no shopping, no extra things, like only saving, right? And when I kind of transitioned into my job, even though I did get paid well enough for me to be super comfortable and afford luxury items on some level, I still had that scarcity mindset that it's not going to be enough, or it's not enough, or like, why does it always feel like I don't have money when I actually do have money? So there are actually two things that came up when you were talking. The first one is that sometimes when you have expensive weeks or months, you try to counter that by saving aggressively the next week or the next month. But what we forget is that you need a certain amount of joyous moments every month, irrespective of what your money situation is. So it's actually very hard on yourself if you say, I've overspent the last month, so I'm going to not spend anything this month. Because then you're leaving a bitter taste in your mouth about how your money is bringing you joy and how it's kind of being a tool in your life. So first, don't do that. Try to like slowly recover from that expense. And the second one would be, this is something that I learned from this book called Let's Talk Money by Monica Harlan. So she has 3 buckets. This can be 3 wallets or 3 bank accounts. One is your spend it, one is your earn it, and one is your invest it. So you have one account from which you only spend money. You have one account in which you only save money. So when I am outside with I get my debit card only for my spend it account, example. So when I'm out with that card, I have no guilt spending that money, because I know everything that's in that account is for me to spend it. And I'm not touching my savings, I'm not touching my investment. So there's like a guilt-free spend instead of always thinking, what is my account balance? What is my account balance? Because you don't have to worry about it with this.
That makes sense.
Right? It helps. It really helped me also. Okay, what's your third question?
Okay, so here's the deal. I'm not that interested in reading the news every day, understanding how the market is doing, what's happening with that entire industry itself. I get my regular updates from you because I talk to you very often, but I'd like to be informed enough to make confident stock investments.
Yeah.
So what do I do about that?
I think this is probably one of my most frequently asked questions. It's either where do I get the news from, what channels do I follow, what news do I act on, and what should I not? Number one, I'm actually not an expert. And I feel like if you watch all my videos, if you've been following me for a while, even you will know that I actually have a full-time busy job. I hang out with friends all the time. I manage my YouTube and Instagram. I don't actually sit down in front of the news or read the newspaper with the Economic Times or anything like that. So you don't actually have to sit down and be updated about every nitty-gritty news to be a good investor. Example, I do have a friend who's um, been investing for a long time based on every news that they get, right? And my portfolio value is actually higher than theirs. People who are really hungry for this stock market updates but don't have the time to go into it, like I was in the beginning, you will act out of FOMO. So I made two mistakes when I was in this phase. One was Yes Bank, when a friend came in and said, Yes Bank was really volatile. It was going from 100, 200 to like 50 and then going up 60 and then going back 30. And he said that, you can make a lot of profit if you like buy and sell in this time period. And I bought it for 50 and it's still at 13 rupees. So because I was hungry for like that stock update on news, the minute someone gave it to me, I acted on it. I didn't do my due diligence. I kind of just trusted that person's information and it didn't go well for me. So I would actually rather stick with the safe bets, which are like large companies, and just trust like the big players instead of reading the market every day and like acting on it. Let's say you buy because of a certain news, then you also want to sell because of certain news.
Yeah.
And if this is not your full-time job, it is just not realistic to sit down and expect to be updated. Like even I'm not interested in that. Like that's not something
you're
that
saying it's better to, you decided to invest in 2 mutual funds this month, I stick to that.
just stick to that. You don't, that's what I'm saying, you don't have to, like when people think about getting into investing, for some reason they think about getting into the expertise of it.
Yeah.
That's actually not necessary at all. Just pick a few good companies, like the top 100 companies, and invest in them and you're good to go.
It doesn't have to be like a daily thing for you.
It doesn't, because it's a long-term thing. What happens in the first 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 years, I don't care, right? I'm playing the long game. Like it's 5 years, 10 years, 15 years for me. So what's your fourth question?
Okay. So this question is about IPO. So I really like investing in IPOs because of the instant gratification that it gives me. So if I invest like a certain amount, I can double it within a span of like
If it
8 to
goes
10
well.
days. So I really like doing that, and it's worked out well for me in the past. So I have this soft spot for like IPOs when it comes to investing, but also it's a lot of work. First is like having that much liquid cash saved for you to be able to invest in an IPO.
Correct.
The wait period when your money is blocked, and also it might just result in rejection.
Correct.
So there's a lot that goes in when you're investing in IPO. So what is your take on IPO as a topic?
I have the perfect answer for this, because one of my colleagues was asking my boss if she had invested in a particular IPO or not. And she told me and all of us about it that she actually is not a fan of being rejected, and so IPOs are not her game. But she obviously does not want to miss out on the returns that you can potentially make from good IPOs. So here's a really fun learning. You can invest in IPOs, like upcoming IPOs and the popular ones that came out, through a mutual fund, where you don't have to go through the trouble of getting your own demat account, you don't have to block money away, you don't have to face rejection. This IPO's philosophy is that it invests in upcoming IPOs and in the previous IPOs. So if you don't want to miss out on IPO returns, and you don't want to go through the hassle of investing in an IPO, then this is a perfect solution. Just Google up mutual funds that invest in IPOs and find one, and it's like the perfect combination.
So basically, it's
a mutual fund.
SIP that I can.
Yeah, you can do an SIP. Yeah.
Okay. So I get
similar returns.
Sometimes high returns and like.
Yeah. So it is a little risky because they are investing in IPOs.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Let's do it after this video.
Yes, we shall invest in it after this. Okay, what is your fifth question? We'll take one last question after this, because I think it's a pretty long video already.
Yeah. Okay. So this one is kind of a follow-up to the previous question itself, but what motivates me is immediate results.
Yeah.
That's why IPO is like something that I would love to invest in. So I have mutual funds which are like safe, long-term SIPs that go every month, and it's a very safe option for me, which is going well. But again, it's long term, so it's not exciting for me. I mean, I do it because I want to save and I want to invest, and I'm doing it. And then there's stocks, which requires a lot of like market knowledge. First thing, a lot of money also, and a lot of risk. It comes with a lot of risk as well. I mean, risk that I'll be willing to take, but again, I'll need to know enough.
Basically,
to
there's a
be
lot
able
of
to-
hesitation in making that decision
Yeah.
of which stock is correct and which to
Yeah.
get. Yeah.
So I feel like I'm not able to invest in single stocks that much because of this reason, but I would like to get into it more because I have that kind of money that I
Yeah.
would like that's there for investment, but
Yeah.
I'm not doing it because of that doubt in myself. So
Yeah.
what should I do about that?
So I went through something similar where my mutual funds portfolio was kind of picking up really well, and that's honestly the only investment I was doing for a bit. Very rarely was I picking up stock like if I came through something that I really knew about or really believed in, or like just picking up really famous companies like Reliance or Pidilite or stuff
Yeah.
like that. But even I wanted to kind of improve my single stock game, and I found Smallcase, which I think is the perfect product because it is a little more aggressive than mutual funds. Because if you look at mutual funds, you have at least 20, 30, 50, 60
Yeah.
stocks grouped together. And so it really gets diversified and also reduces your risk. And single stock, on the other hand, is extremely
It's true.
risky. So something in between is a small case, and it's literally what the word suggests. It's a smaller portfolio size. So you'll probably have like 7, 10, 15 companies that are made with either certain principles kept in mind or philosophies or concepts. So an example for a small case could be the naked trader or all weather investing. You can quickly Google this up, but let's say it's all weather investing. Basically, the small cap picks stocks or companies that have survived in all ups and downs of the market and still produce decent results. Then there's also the Great Indian Middle Class Small Case, which basically says that in the coming years, the middle class are going to have a lot more money to spend and are going to grow very aggressively. And so all the products that they will buy in the companies that serve the middle class will also grow with it.
Okay, they'll do well.
Yeah. So then that small case picks companies that serve that particular topic.
It's basically topics in your investing.
Yes.
And the topics that probably interests you also.
Yes. So you can pick electric vehicles as a small case. You can pick in FMCG products. Any particular industry or topic, it kind of picks together good companies under it based on that topic's principles and philosophy and creates a small portfolio for you to invest in. So it's a lot more aggressive than a mutual fund. So your risk also increases with it. There are safer small cases, obviously, of course, with lesser risk. But it's a lot safer and easier because, again, there's a manager who's managing that small case for you. In small case, you also have the liberty to create your own small case,
Okay.
saying, okay, these are the 5 stocks that I want to invest in every month and have an SIP for
you can
that.
create a community also.
Yeah, you can also edit your own small case where you say, okay, I'm taking this small case, but I'm going to make some changes to it. Let me know in the comments if you want me to make a full video on small case, but
Yeah.
that's what I did to kind of improve my stocks game. So I started investing in small case, and that significantly has increased my risk and also returns, though, which I'm willing to take. And I don't have to spend time again, sitting and doing my research and all
That's
that.
like the perfect middle ground, I think,
Yeah.
between stocks and mutual funds.
Yeah. Okay, we're on to our very last question.
Okay, last question. Let's take this another way. So with all the answers that you gave, and like all of us already know that you're really good with money, and I've been getting benefits of that the past 12 years. Remind me, where have you messed up when it comes to money? That would be saving, investing, or whatever, making money. What's been your fuck up? I can't say fuck. Can I?
You can. It's fine. Is that your question?
Yeah. Where have you fucked up, or what do you not know?
I don't know a lot of things. I don't think I know too much or anything like that. There are many places, right? I've acted out of FOMO where I bought the Yes Bank shares and fancier biotech shares. One thing that I'm actually not very good at, and I'm genuinely like trying to get better at, is making my salary last till the end of the month on a very comfortable note.
Yeah.
So
even I've not been able to do that. Yeah.
so like it's not that I'm spending too much, but I have this itch when I see money sitting in my bank account to kind of push it towards an investment or like get a gift or something, because I feel like it's not doing anything in my bank account,
Sitting.
right? It's almost like it's having an opposite effect of me because I'm so proactive in all this. I have this constant urge to do something with my money. And what happens is when I invest for the long term. So I don't let myself take out any of this money. But then by the end of the month, if there are situations where I need that extra cash, I don't have that liquidity. And so I actually don't have a very good balance of saving that I can dip into investments and liquid cash. I think I have expenses and I have investments, and then my savings and liquid cash is actually quite low. Yeah. So this year I actually want to work on building that up, and not just because I have money lying in my bank account, I shouldn't be doing things with it. I should be okay, like be at peace knowing that I've done my investments for the month. I don't have to push any more towards that. I don't have to spend it just because I have money in my account, and just get comfortable looking at a number and not having the urge to spend it.
So you're gonna work on that this year.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'll also get to work on it this year. So that's a win-win.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'm not good at. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video. Did you enjoy doing it, Raksha?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I mean, this is basically our sleepover conversations that we have every week, just in front of a camera, and I'm more like uncomfortable because it's in front of a camera, but it's a lot of fun, and I'm sure it would have helped a lot of people watching this. So
yeah, I hope it did. If you enjoyed it, leave us some cute, kind comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this growing community. If you've been following me since 2020, this is the first video of 2022, and so I'm very, very grateful to have you here or have you back.
Disha just reached 10K followers on Instagram and 4K on YouTube, so let's grow this more.
Yeah, so if you haven't followed me on Instagram yet, then make sure you do. I will leave the handle somewhere here.
And I come up more on her Instagram more than YouTube. So
we do a lot of reels together. So yeah, if you want to see more of us, then you should probably head to my Instagram.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the highest me? Because that's how.
Yeah.
So we're very grateful to have you here. And if you stuck till the end of the video, the highest in us recognizes the highest in you. And we will see you again in my next video.